I haven't been pressing the record button on my life lately. Things just get busy and I lose track. But what happens when I lose track is that it's a mental block that I get that I don't have time to post. I don't have time to do it. But also the worst part about it is that I don't feel like I am worthy or deserving of speaking. My default is to listen to others, which is great. I learn a lot. Not gonna lie. On YouTube, the people that I listen to about manifesting, meditation, about goal setting, about social media in 2025, and running a business, it's all men. And I believe it's all men because women are running on empty 99% of the time. We are caught in this middle of we should be working really hard. We're financially independent now. I'm a single mom. I don't have anybody that is going to come save me, even though when I'm not posting and I'm not creating content and I'm not doing what I love, somehow I think that the future me is going to come and rescue me. And that's not the truth. The only person that's going to rescue me is the me in the present moment, and that's it. So where I'm going with this is that women, we are not creating the life that we deserve and that we want because we are running on empty, creating a life for everybody else. That, I believe, is the reason why there are more male men are creating content and having YouTube channels that are explosive and doing all the things because they are not running on empty. Most of them probably have somebody behind the scenes, like a woman. Maybe not. Maybe that's judgmental of me. But as women, we are still the main providers to our children. We still have the jobs. We still have all these things that make it 100 million times more harder to manifest a life that we want, to be the person that we want to be, to show up in the relationships that we want to show up as, because we're tired. And not only are we tired, we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see. So we just automatically think nobody's going to like what they see. I am speaking to people right now that want to create content, that want a YouTube channel, that want to be seen, but they're too tired, too afraid, too overwhelmed, afraid of what people are going to say. What if it comes out wrong? Who's going to watch me? What if nobody watches me? All these fears, right? And I've gone through each of them. Who's going to watch me? Probably nobody. And that's okay with me because I'm still getting my voice out there. And it's actually easier to create content when you realize that nobody's really listening. Next part of that, what if somebody's mad at me for what I'm going to say? Well, nobody's listening anyways. So who cares? What are my friends and family going to think of me? That is old ass programming that needs to stop. What your family and your friends think of you, that's on them. That has nothing to do with you. If you are being called to speak your truth and to speak your mind and to show up on the internet doing your thing, then you have to do your thing. Not everybody has the desire to create content. Some people do it because they feel like they have to. But if you feel like you have a voice that needs to be heard, a face that needs to be seen, you have to get through the fear. But you also have to stop giving to everybody else and you have to start giving to yourself. You cannot keep running on empty and expect that someone's going to show up with a gas can to fill you up. It's not going to happen. You got to fill yourself up. So what are ways you can do that? What's in your heart? What is your heart telling you that she wants to do? What is that future self of you that you dream about during the day, at night, you're daydreaming about this perfect life. What is that perfect life? Who is she? What is she trying to tell you when you're daydreaming and you're thinking? Because she's trying to tell you something, and you have to start listening. And not only do you have to start listening, you have to start acting on, not only do you have to listen, you have to start acting as if you are that person, that future self that you daydream about. What is she doing? What is she saying? What is she wearing? Where does she go during the day? Start connecting with her and see where that takes you. You have to get through the fear, and you have to take actionable steps. And I think once we start doing that, we're going to see more women talking about it on social media. It's not going to be the guys that are talking about it. They have more time, they have more energy. Great, good for them. But when we start to rise and when we start using our voices as women and we start becoming our future selves and we encompass the strength, the beauty, the love that we know we want and deserve, everything will shift. Everything will shift. Promise. I know it. And not only are we going to shift as a whole, but our lives are going to shift for the better. And I can say that because I was in that spot a few years ago where I had an empty cup. My body was shutting down. I had zero energy to give to anybody, let alone myself, because I had been giving. And I had to learn how to stop giving to others and to give to myself, to learn what love really is. Love is loving yourself so immensely that you start believing in yourself and your dreams. Just like we believe in our children's dreams to be astronauts and firefighters, we love our children. We love our friends. But we have to start loving ourselves more than that. Because when we start loving ourselves, when we start feeling it in our hearts, and it starts to grow and it gets bigger and bigger, that just means we are showing up as the best version of ourselves, and we are going to teach our children and we are going to love our children more than we ever thought possible. And I know this because I've had to experience it for myself. I was the parent that was exhausted, tired, yelling, not the best version of myself for sure. And through this process, I've learned that if I just love myself and I give myself permission to rest, to do whatever creative thing I need to do, for instance, create content right now. Sometimes it's photography. Sometimes it's going for a walk. I give myself permission. I don't ask for permission. I give myself permission. And everything changes. And I know I'm probably like the ego part of me, not the ego, the little girl inside of me right now is like, you are coming across as a sassy bitch. You should stop. And I get that. Sometimes though, that sassy bitch is my woman inside of me that is taking care of me. And she's pushing me forward. So that's what I have for today. I hope somehow this is making sense to one of you, and that you give yourself permission today to do something that is going to fill your bucket. Give yourself permission to love yourself. Give yourself permission to daydream about a future self that is full. And give yourself permission to take a little step towards her in whatever way you can.